Forgiveness. Can I forgive in the true sense of the word? I've been to Rwanda, in the center of Africa before. I was so nervous because it was my first time to Africa. But Rwandan people love me so much. Arriving at the airport, my friend Peter hugged me saying, "You are welcome." Every people seeing me said, "Amakuru," meaning, "How are you?" At school, every student raised their hand and told their opinion cheerfully. I made friends with them soon and taught our language each other. They are my precious friends. When I came back to Japan, my mother Ira hugged me all the time, saying, "You are my baby." Rwanda is a country where so kind people live. But Rwanda has very sad history. Old days, Rwanda governed their country by themselves. But when Germany and Belgium came to Rwanda, they established Rwandan rules without permission. Belgium divided Rwandan people into two tribes, Tsuti and Hutu. Before then, they can cooperate, but after that, they started fighting. And in 1994, genocide against Tsuti happened. Around a million people were killed for 100 days. I visited many memorial centers in Rwanda. At Mura Memorial, I watched many people decayed. Every person bent their bodies in pain, and the faces were full of sadness and pain. Mr. Stanley, he is a guide staff in this memorial, said, "The skulls with big holes are for the people killed with some hard stick. The skulls with small holes are for the people killed with some sharp spear. The skulls with smaller holes are for the people killed with some guns." Anyone thought they are never help, so they asked for killing them, saying, "Please kill me easy. I pay you money." Mr. Stanley explained, "Why did they pay money for killing them? I never understand such idea." But I watched Mr. Stanley and my father. Their faces were full of sadness, so I couldn't ask my question, only watching mummies. There were many small mummies. Those were children and babies. Every small skull was crushed. Everyone wanting to help their children, so they took them to church. Rwandan people are Christian. They believe, "Here is God, they never kill." But that was a mistake. The mother threw many born two children in church, and they killed all of the children. Mr. Stanley explained without fear, without intimacy. He seemed to lose his face. I thought I couldn't understand because I was so young. Later, I heard Mr. Stanley's brother was killed here in 1994. After coming back to Japan, I watched a movie about Rwandan genocide. The name is Hotel Rwanda. Watching this movie, I was very shocked. I watched the hotel many times in this movie. I visited the hotel in Rwanda. I drank hot chocolate at the poolside with my father and his friend Fabrice. I put a flower on the table on my head, and we took pic, so the waitress said to me, "You are very cute." There were many people who enjoyed talking. There also were many people swimming. I remember the scene is same as my experience. I felt so happy. But this movie did not make me happy. I experienced enjoyable time with many kind people, but those people were killed suddenly. When one went outside on milk cranes, he was killed. Many people trying to run away from killer were killed outside of the hotel. They also killed children and babies. I tried thinking about what I watched and what I heard in Rwanda. Of course, I didn't think the genocide is fiction, like TV program or movies. But I didn't understand the true meaning. Because the Rwanda I visited was so kind and so beautiful country. However, it is true that the genocide happened. Those unbelievable sad things happened as I watched many pics and I heard many sad stories in Rwanda. In the movie, people gathered center of the building and held their breath because killer aimed them with grenade and shotgun. I remembered Mary's house, where I stayed in Rwanda. The situation of her was same as the movie. We lived in this house, smiling and enjoying every day. But when the genocide started, we heard the sound of guns and bombs. So we gathered the center of the house and waited the time without breath. She said, if killers know we are in this house, they will kill us, so we turned off all light. In the darkness, we passed the time trembling with fear. Mary Ruth told me that there are some big holes and many scars of genocide in this house even now. I thought if Mary Ruth and her family ran away late, or if they ran away earlier, they will be. Yuka, there were many dead people here. Many people were killed here. My father told me. There is a road in front of our house. The road is bumpy and unpaved. I like this road very much. I and father take a walk every morning. Many people greet us here, saying, Maramutse Amakuru. I can't believe the road, full of dead humans. Only 25 years ago. At the first time, I didn't know about genocide, but now maybe I know what genocide is. I don't know war. I studied history in Japan 75 years ago. Many bombs and 2 atomic bombs fell. I never think if the bombs falls on my house. I don't know genocide. I never think if killers break into my house and they kill my father and mother and my sisters. I think such a terrible situation never happened. Rwandan people saw same as me. All people believe that never happened. However, the genocide happened, so that is very sad. They asked for killing them, saying, please kill me easily, I pay you money. I understand the meaning they said so. They knew they had no chance to survive, so instead of long paying, they wanted to stop their lives earlier. I heard that one way of running away, parents killed their children. I couldn't understand the action, but I knew the sad meaning. Anyone never wants to die. If feeling pain or feeling sad and hurt, they never want to stop their lives. However, people in 1994 thought that death is not more painful than survive. This is a real genocide. At Milan Memorial, I couldn't ask my father and Mr. Stanley why they wanted to be killed, but now I know the meaning of their faces. The people you watch here are human, so they smell which you never experienced. But I think it's a proof they are human. I want you to remember. My father told me that in memorial. Yes, those are all human like me. Before they were killed, they smiled, sometimes got angry, played with friends, and had quarreled and cried as I do now. I asked if I were born in Rwanda in 1994. My father, my mother, my sister Suzuna, Himari, may have been killed, and they might have been in memorial. Actually, Mr. Stanley's brother rests in peace in memorial. Genocide deprived not only Stanley's family, but also the survivor Stanley's smile, joy, dream, hope. They deprived it all. Before them, I was a child, so I can say, I don't know because I'm a child. But in Rwanda, children at my age experienced genocide, even younger age than me did. Robert, a friend of my father, is 33 years old now. He experienced genocide at the age of only 8. He was deprived of his father and mother and many brothers. His house was burned down. When I saw Robert first, I couldn't understand his story because he spoke English. My father and Mary Louise and other students, all people cried. Now I can imagine his sadness. There should be no genocide, never genocide. We have to say, never again to genocide. To tell the truth, the better word is there, but just now I can say only, never again. I'm really frustrated. I can say what I want to say. I can only say, never again to genocide. I understand the sadness and pain of victims and survivors, but understanding them, I couldn't understand one thing. Why did those who have sadness forgive the people who killed their family and friends? In Rwanda, the trial was held after the genocide against Tsuti, named Gachacha. Those who were killed their family judged the killer for their crime. I anticipated that all killers were sentenced to death penalty, but the real thing was totally different. The number of executions in fact was only 22, who were the leaders spreading genocide. There were thousands of killers at that time in Rwanda, and about 600 suspects were sentenced to death penalty. Rwanda abolished death penalty in 2007. It was decided the execution for prisoners wasn't done. I watched the people wearing orange clothes doing farm works. The people were prisoners who committed crimes. My father told me, if he does the farm work, is he armed of his crime? In Japan, the one is to be sentenced death penalty. Isn't he? Did everyone say okay? I can't understand. I asked my father this question because I felt strange and I don't agree. So my father asked me on the contrary. Can the execution of killers help survivors feel into it? I think it's one of the ways, but Rwandan people didn't choose the way. I couldn't say anything. I don't know, genocide. My father and my grandparents either. I've never thought that some of my family are killed. That was too dreadful for me to think about it. However, I have to think about it, because I want to support Rwandan friends as soon as possible. Because I want to think about their hard feelings as soon as possible. I considered how the survivors felt. Maybe their sadness which they lost their family will not disappear forever. However, it is so hard for them to live with hating the person who killed their family. If I were killed, I don't want my father and mother to kill the person who killed me in revenge. Because the revenge will make my parents other person whom I don't know and don't like. If I were killed, I only want my parents and my sister, Suduna and Himari, to live again with smiling every day. I would say, please remember me someday, not every day. I'm not so happy to see my family crying every day for me. There's a memorial in church in Yamata. In this church, 45,000 people were killed. When I visited here, there was a letter on the wall. Mary Louise read it for us. Dear my father and mother, how are you? Is it quiet there? Can you rest safely? Is it peaceful place there? I live in this world without you. Don't worry about me. Now I don't have a hard time. I never suffer from famine. Nobody is coming to kill me. I live in peace every day. But I hope only one thing. I want to see you again, my father and mother. After you disappeared, I really miss you. Father and mother, please watch me in the sky. Please cheer me up. Mary-Louise was crying with reading the letter. I think each person couldn't believe anything after genocide, after they lost their family. We can't imagine the situation those who live with us disappear one day suddenly. Maybe they hate the killer who deprived the precious their family's life. If the genocide hadn't occurred, children would have grown safely, studied much, worked hard, and made many people happy. Parents would have become grandparents after growing their children. Many people would have lived loving and being loved with many people. No one can deprive their lives, their happiness, their future. So I think everyone was angry and hate killers. I think many people thought they wanted to kill killers some of their precious persons' lives. However, Rwandan chose the way to forgive. My father read the message of survivors at Kigali Genocide Memorial. We have to forgive their hateful deed. If the killers admit their crime and reflect on their brutal crime and beg forgiveness to all Rwandan victims. But it is too difficult for us to forget those who deprived us of everything. However, we have to forgive for our country, Rwanda, for our children's future. Now, Rwanda is very peaceful country. People are very kind and the city is clean. I didn't watch any trash around the road in Kigali. At first in Rwanda, I took it for granted that these people and cleanness of Rwanda are, because I didn't know anything. But now I don't think so. It's very hard for Rwanda to build the peace again. I think many people have much patience in their hearts. The patience enabled people to forgive. Not easy. Yes, it's never easy. The forgiveness enabled Rwanda to build up peace again. I know there are many wars in Japan, Cambodia, and Rwanda. Maybe more wars happened all over the world, so I don't know. Maybe so many people were killed. Maybe my grandparents were. However, now I don't want to take my revenge on someone killing my ancestors. I never hold grudge against anyone. I watched broken cities by atomic bombs in Hiroshima and Nagasaki when I went there. I watched many people killed and many buildings broken, many things deprived. In my history lesson, I learned that it was America who dropped atomic bombs. However, no one teaches me hate America, so I can make friends with Americans. I think the future reopened because many people forgave their hateful people. There is much sadness in this world, and many people have patience. They put up with the sadness, so our world can keep the peace. Though it is never easy, I know the people who put up with their pain and forgave. They put up with their sadness and feeling of hatred against the killer that prevented our world and our future from spreading the feeling of hatred. I respect those who endure their sadness. So I want to consider them, consider their feelings, making friends with them, and talking much. I want to relieve them from their sadness and patience. I know we cannot stand alone. I know if we are alone, we hate someone and maybe we burn such feeling on others. However, our world is so big. There are many bad people, but there are more good people. Even if one has evil mind, He can change his mind after he's been kind to by many people. This summer I learned about Sampo Sugihara, who helped many Jewish people during World War II. In the process, I learned the Jewish Holocaust like genocide in Rwanda. In the Holocaust, about 6 million people were killed. Men were ordered to work without food, and died one after another. Women and children were killed soon after they were captured. They were sent to the gas room. Such a cruel tragedy happened around Germany 18 years ago. During such situation, Sampo became a Japanese consul at Kaunas, Lithuania. He wrote so many visas for Jewish people rushing to his consul. Please give me the visa for running away from Nazis. Please allow me to go to America through Japan. The Jewish people didn't move, saying, please, Japanese government ordered him not to give visa. But Sampo wrote visas on the country to the owner. He was ordered to back to Japan, but he kept writing visas in the train to Japan. The number of visas was 2,139. After his back into Japan, 10,000 people were killed there in only 2 months. The people who got visas from Sampo arrived at Japan safely. I visited the place where the Jewish people arrived in 1940. I watched many pictures and films. They told me the Jewish people were so happy because they are treated much by Japanese. Some said, I'm so happy because Japanese gave apples. Some said, I'm so happy because I can take a bus. Japanese prepared for me. Some said, I'm so happy because I can sleep peacefully in Japanese pajama, yukata. They really feared and worried about their family and friends in Kaunas. They escaped from their home and they lost their country. They were so sad, I think. But the people smiled in those pictures. Even in how cruel a situation you are in, somebody helped you at the risk of their life. That's our hope. We never forgive such situations, but they endure and they finish their sadness and hatred in their hearts for future. This is our hope. After I heard the genocide story of Robert, my father said to me, go to Robert and let him hold you. And after Robert helped me, my father said to him, Robert, you must be happy. You must live happy days forever and ever. Someday, you can be a father. You can hold your children like this. I want to be your friend. I want to live my life with you. My father encouraged Robert every time. Robert has much sadness and loneliness. So father wants Robert to smile again and again. Marie-Louise built a school in Rwanda. In a building a good condition students can study after many people lost their precious things. My father teaches in this school and makes many smiles. His lessons make children happy. Marie-Louise and father are trying to work for Rwandan good future, for this world peace. Marie-Louise said, when I ran away from Kira in 1994, I and my children arrived at a refugee camp, and I saw a Japanese. He helped me. He saved our lives. Though too many lives were lost during 1994, I survived. I think I have a significant meaning in my life. So now it's my turn. I have to build future for children. And many people followed her dream. They support her and new school was built. And many teachers support her like my father. That's the same as my father. Many people support my father. If you need, please bring them to Rwandan children. Many people gave him stationery, goods and clothes for Rwandan people. This is the human world. In our world, there is a tragedy happened. But many people are trying to get over the sadness, and many people want to support beside them. Many people want to help them relieve their sadness. Crying together, smiling together, we live together. Sharing someone's sadness, we want to live only hope in our future. That is our world. Can I forgive in the true sense of the word? If I'm alone, I never forgive anyone, anything. Maybe with friends and colleagues, it is not easy to forgive someone who gave me the sadness. But I've learned that many people forgive. They believed future. They decided to choose the way to forgive for next generations. People had much patience. I've learned. So my answer is same. Maybe I can't forgive, but I choose a way for giving. For our future.
一人ぼっち感じる心があるのは君が誰かと深くつながり合ってくため不意にこぼれる熱く優しい涙がいつか誰かの乾いた心潤す日が来るから諦めずに行くんだ貫く勇気を持って限りある命を限りなく生きるために愛の種を飛ばそうできるだけ遠くまで誰かの心に届くことを願って愛の種を飛ばそう命が枯れ果てるまで誰かの心にその想いが届けばそこで芽が出て花が咲きまたどこかへ飛んでくだろう永遠に咲き続ける愛の花信じきれない疑う心があるのは君が誰かを強く探し求めてるため全てを許した眩しいばかりの笑顔がいつか誰かの閉ざした心開かす日が来るから割り切らずに行くんだ君自身が希望となれ限りある命を限りなく生かすために愛の種を飛ばそうできるだけ遠くまで誰かの心に届くことを願って愛の種を飛ばそう命が枯れ果てるまで誰かの心にその想いが届けばそこで芽が出て花が咲きまたどこかへ飛んでくだろう永遠に咲き続ける愛の花永遠に咲き続ける愛の花